Welcome back. I'm Chan the Tech Man, and we're doing Uber Live again, of course. And thank you for tuning in. I gonna do the cha-cha now. Sorry, but it tickles me. Going to my plan is drop some pellets. That kind of doesn't sound right, does it? Drop some pellets, and that red one always ends up over there for some reason. And do some reading, maybe. That's not it yet. I'm gonna drop these 5 pellets. And I said 6,000 before. If you got confused, it should have been. I thought it should be 6,000. I got confused. For some reason I knew it was 5, but for some reason I thought it was 6 pellets. I don't know why, but clearly it's not 6, but it's 5. So here we go. I'm gonna drop these, and after I drop these, I am going to start a batch on this, and we'll start another batch. It's like he's going to the restroom. And then go do reading in the library is my plan. I think it was 3 books. I got a ton of books in that other place to read. I think that is the Palace or something. I ain't gonna start on that. Probably we'll just do the library ones. Trying to get it thorough. I haven't read though. I want to read them too, and I want to read them on here so you all have them. Woo! Make sure I got that volume turned up so you can hear that. Okay. Three more. Did it do it? I have to be over here, doesn't it? No, now we know. Thought maybe I could get a head start at a plop it while I'm walking over, but it won't do that. You have to be over there. Plop, flop, fizz. It's to drop straight down. It looks like it skewers it, kinda. It doesn't just sit down in something. It skewers it a little bit. It's interesting. wonder. Yeah, it won't show it on Encarta. Just in when you're in Dunny. And go back there and start more baking. You have to wait till you do the last one to start more. So, because you have to come back and it has to drop back down. So, I don't know how long this does. I really don't. It took 4 hours for the 40, 30, 20. It's neat how that rolls around. I just want to let her know so she can let everybody know. I think it was here in the library. Yes, it is. Let's see. Memon. It almost sounds like something on Stargate. The story of Memon, taken from book 21D, translation by Nick. We read that in Complete Chronicles a lot about Nick, that he come along and he knew a lot of the Denny, and he was one guy really liked him, and I'm just wondering if he ain't connected to Yisha, or if he wasn't Denny or something. But you see a lot of translations, because they said they gave him a lot of translations and he translated a lot. I think pretty sure that was Nick. And it's his first draft. A lot of these are the first draft. And a dark sickness spread throughout the city, and sores broke out on the skin of those who the sickness touched. Might be better translated infected, but touched fits with the literary style. And some began to die. The sickness came from Yashef, where the large trees grew, and where the woods of Yemen was harvested. The wood of Yemen was harvested, as it was there was great fear. I don't really make sense. As it was there was great fear in the houses of all those who lived with Yemen close to them. That kind of part doesn't make sense. I don't like nitpicking. I just don't know what that means. Some people kind of nitpick too much about commas and all of that. The grammar police, I don't get along with a grammar police person at all. That's another story. And so great fear spread throughout the king's household and through all those who worked in the halls of the guilds and those who looked over the city. Such fear overcame the minds of reason, and many began to flee the city and run to the other places that were available to them. But King Memnon was angry at those who ran and was himself unafraid, literally not of fear. This was at the fall because there was a king, and at the fall there was no king. If you remember reading, they did away with that. Probably a bad idea, obviously, because they fell. Ended up getting into a lot of bad stuff there at the end. Kadesh did really bad stuff. We went to those caves and stuff. Not very good. And so he called for the healers, grandmasters, Shemeth, to come to his room, and through Shemeth was preparing to flee, he obeyed the king and came to him quickly. That's almost identical to the others we read, but I know I did not read these because I didn't go into the library down here. Grandmaster Shemeth, the king, asked his healer, "Have you not read the histories of our people? Have you not been instructed in the way of those who led your guild in the generations before you? Are you not aware of the plague that this place has already seen?" "My king, it is for these reasons that I am prepared to flee, for I know those who died and those who are unable to prevent it from taking hold of them. I know of this plague in detail." And the king answered, "Depart. I have no time for you, Shemeth. Depart to your own age and do not return to this place again." I've said the same thing, but maybe a little bit more harsher. "May it be that my eyes never look upon your face again." And Shemeth departed from King Memnon, and he never saw him again. And King Memnon called for Guildmaster Amem of the Guild of Healers, and through Amem, though Amem was prepared to flee, he obeyed the king and came to him quickly. "Grandmaster Amem," the king asked his healer, "Have you too not read the histories of our people? Have you not heard of the ways of those who led your guild of 3,000 years ago?" "A king, of course it is for these reasons that I know what may happen to our people. It is for that reason that we must protect ourselves first, so that we may protect those who trust us for protection." "It is not how I would have thought. Depart with your master, and may I never see you again," King Memnon ordered. And King Memnon called for Guildmaster Rahman of the Guild of Healers. So, in other words, he's appointed these other people Guildmaster. When they left, he'd appoint another one. They automatically become Guildmaster of the Guild of Healers. And though Rahman was preparing to flee, he obeyed his king and came to him quickly. "Guildmaster Rahman," the king asked his healer, "Tell me that you have read the histories of our people and been instructed in the ways of our guild. Tell me you have heard of the destruction of the sickness that overcame our people 3,000 years ago. Of course, my king, it is for this reason that we must bring the ancient books to another age so that we may study our records and learn in the ways that we must fight. But to stay here would be suicide. It is as I would have thought to part with your master, and may you never see the light of the lake again, King Mammon ordered. And King Mammon was greatly disturbed and troubled, and he stayed in his room for 4 nights. His servants brought food for him, but he refused to eat, and his servants brought advisers, but he refused to speak. And all of those around him became worried, even as more of the city became empty. And finally, King Mammon called for guild captain Aram of the Guild of Healers, and Aram was studying in the guild, and he obeyed the king and came to him quickly. Guild captain Aram, the king asked his healer, "Tell me that you have read the histories of our people and been instructed in the ways of your guild. Tell me that not all of Denny's is running in fear of a sickness that can be defeated." "Of course, my king, it is for these reasons that I have not left my class since I first heard of the sickness appearing in the district where the trees appeared. I understand that our father, the honored Grandmaster Jasim, worked for 6 years even after the book of Drene was found. He worked day and night and stood by our people as he sought to save them from the sickness that had even affected our king." "It is for this reason that I will not leave this place until this sickness is no longer in our city. Tell me whatever you need, and it will be yours. You are most honored in this place today, and Denny will be saved because of you." And King Mammon was filled with joy and ate from the food his servants brought him and spoke with the advisers who came to speak. Let me see. As it was, Aram spent day and night without sleeping for 4 days, and on the 5th day the cure was found, and the sickness was deadly no longer. And King Mammon gave the Guild of Healers to Aram, and he was known as Grand Master from that day forward. Shemeth, Anim, and Ramen, got some noodles, didn't he? Ramen noodles were restricted from the Guild of Healers and never again allowed inside of it or of the palace or of any of the king's dwellings and structures. And King Mammon ordered the surveying of the new section of the city to be called Navarel, and this section was to be away from the city so that any sickness brought from the other worlds would not be brought into the heart of the city, but instead away from it, so that fear would not spread again. And he ordered that the story of Grandmaster Aaron be taught to all of those who were instructed by the Guild of Healers from that day forward, so that none would forget the power of Denny and the great strength of their medicines and learning. Seems a good place to stop. I filled in a few words, but it was here about. Oh, we're feeling pretty good about this one. The story of Kedri, taken from the book 42 Bees. Kedri loved his people, and the people of Denny loved their king, for Kedri did well in the eyes of Yahweh and sought to serve those who he led. And in the 48th year of his reign, Kedri roamed the streets of Agira and was greatly disturbed, for even though all people, rich and poor, loved their king, Kedri saw that the entire island of Agira was filled with those who were prosperous and those who governed Denny. Where are my people? Kedri asked to those who walked with him. All around you, they answered, pointing to the crowds that followed them. Yet I do not see my people here. I see masters of guild, I see owners of stores, but I do not see those who have no option to join a guild, or those who have built those who have built the stores. Where are my people on this island? So the king called together his counselors and expressed his disappointment, and he ordered that a new place is it right, but having trouble with this word, not the usual district word either, although that might be a better translation, or home, be built on the island, and that the name of the place questioned be Shamathin. He ordered the Shamathin be made available not to those who did possess the wealth and stature of the elite, but to those who were not so fortunate. Still, they were his people, and the area was built, and Kedri was joyful to see his people live in such a place. Oh, daggone it. Live in such a place, same word again. A short while later, after the area of Shamath began to grow, Kedri was walking through the city, conversing with his people and telling them of his plans, and Kedri was led to the common library because he wanted to see the ages that he heard his people talk of. And again the king was disturbed, and he asked his advisors, where are the books that the great Denny have written? All around you, they answered, pointing to the rows of books that line the shelves. Yet I do not see the ages of our people here. I see ages that resemble failed school assignments for the students of writers. I see ages that not even those students would visit, much less a king. So I will ask again, where are the great ages of Denny? So the king returned to his palace and ordered his counselors to bring his most prized book, The Age of the Kings, written during the reign of his grandfather, to the common library, so that the people of Denny might be able to see the skills of the great writers, even as he had seen them. And the people loved their king more than they had before. So the king called his advisors and ordered them to add to the great temple, so that Yahweh might be pleased, and so all of Denny could visit their God. Really, it's a form of Yahweh. Again, I thought God made more sense, though, in his house, just as though those with money and inherited kind of money were allowed to do. The king ordered them to add to the opera house so that all of Denny could hear the skills of song of the people just as those with money and earn kind of money were allowed to do. The king ordered them to add to the district of Bellary so that the area started by King Rakiri might not fall into disrepair but be treated as all other areas of the city and that all of Denny might live in prosperity, just as those with money, both earned and inherited, were allowed to do. All all people of Denny grew to love their king more than they had before. Some trouble spots here seem that through different kinds of money words might need help with those as well as place thing. I feel like I've read these before, but the story of Murta in the time of Murta in the 196th year of his reign, Jolath, his mother, came to him in his bedroom. Now it was well known throughout the city that Murta had a grave lust for women, and none knew this weakness. And none knew this weakness, a weakness of choice is more literal, more than his own mother. So it was, I did read these. So that Joseph brought with her the women of Ramal who worshipped the tree of Ramal beauty, as well as known in Denny, especially among those who worshipped the tree, and especially among the king, plural, the kings is here, although I don't know why, maybe implied the whole king's palace or history, not sure. But as it was, though, the king could have any object, and Denny Ramal had been held from him by his mother until now, and she offered her son Ramal in exchange for her own purposes. But what are your purposes? The king asked. For do you think me so foolish as to give you anything you want for a mere woman? Of course not, my son, but as you know, you have watched from afar for many years. You have talked to your advisors and plotted the ways in which you could make her yours, but you have been unable even to look upon her so closely until this day that I have brought her to you. So do not think I am so foolish so that to believe that this woman is a mere woman. You have spoken truthfully. In fact, as I gaze upon her now, I have never imagined her to be so beautiful. She is like a statue without flaw. But even so, do you think that I will give you whatever you wish for such a woman as this? Now, Josephine was cunning, and Mary was eager for Ramal. And every day Joel brought the woman into the king's bedroom. Every day she offered her son, the woman Ramal, in exchange for her own purposes. And as the night passed, Mary became satisfied with those who were already his. He became spiteful of those who came to his bedroom, for none compared to this woman, Ramal, whom his mother continued to withhold from him. And finally he could resist his mother's arguments no longer. Joe came to his bedroom with the woman Ramal, and the king Merit began to speak. The woman has ruined my life. There is none like her in all ages, and you brought her to this room night after night. Those who I have found beautiful have faded in comparison to this one, and I no longer find pleasure in them. Therefore, I am no longer satisfied with anything, and I will not be satisfied until this woman is mine. What is that you asked of me? Whatever it is, I will give you. You have my son. I will talk to you tomorrow. So he gave woman to Ramal gave the woman Ramel of the worshippers of the tree to her son, and Ramel was King Merit's from that day forward. At dawn of the next day, Jolath came to Merit while he was still sleeping and told him her purposes. The Guild of Riders has long had their rules, their restrictions, and their ancient oaths, but you realize, my son, that these words are old now, and no longer the ways of our people. Reneref was responsible for them, and they are like a collar around our necks, growing even tighter and preventing us from moving forward. It is time that we are freed. Even Merit was disturbed, but there are none who would agree to this. The oath is as stone. It cannot be altered, for it has never been. And yet, not only do you ask me to change the oath, but contradict the things it says. And Jola grew angry. Are you so foolish? Do you think I ask you to carry out the impossible? There is but one thing that must be changed, one thing that will give us freedom. It is the Denny who created the art as we know it, not Yavo. Thus, since it is true, it is us who can determine the rules of the art, not the ancient religious writings. They will view it as blasphemy. The king responded but I will do as you say. And so King Merit spoke to the Guild of Writers. His words were well crafted, often from his mother, and his arguments strong, for they too Jola gave him, and his efforts were great, for there was no other woman besides Ramel, and it was the woman that he lived for. However, though many in the Guild of Writers were easily convinced by the sharp words of the king, there was one who was not. Grandmaster Tremel was old in age and wise beyond even his years, and his decision was hard. The word is a certain kind of stone that was considered to be the most hard and immovable, and he would not be moved. Never will we change what Alash has written in the oaths. Never will we change what we have spoken for generations. Never will we allow a crack to be opened to the great wall of our guild, for it is tyranny that you seek. But is tyranny not the reason we exist? For Tremel could see the plan of Jothan even in the words of the king, and Tremel knew that if the ancient religious writings did not determine their fate, the hearts of men would rule, and there would be nothing to stop Jothan from having her way. And so for 3 days Tremel stood to the words of the king. For 3 days the king would return to his place and receive new words from his mother. For 3 days the anger of Jothan burned against Tremel and grew stronger. And so it was that on the 4th day, when the king was no longer welcome to the guild, Grandmaster Tremel was found hanging from a tree, his body covered in blood. The king was sad when he heard the news, for he held no bitterness in his heart towards Tremel. But when Jothan heard the news, she was overjoyed and ordered the king to the Guild of Writers to change the oath and carry out her own purposes. But as it was, the death of Tremel had breathed boldness in the guild, and in unison they denounced the wicked evil that had killed their grandmaster, and vowed that the oaths of their guild would never be changed, and that there would be no more discussion. And Jolith devised other plans for she knew that even she could not change such determined. The same word used as above, the hearted stone guildsman. And King Merit lived with Fremont, and he was satisfied with all those who visited his room again, even as he was filled with pleasure. Joseph plotted evil, and the city in which he lived grew weak, probably ready for Dr. Watson's review. I think a Dr. Watson was used to be built in the windows. Some kind of, what you call it, a thing for something, errors or something. I read this one. It's about that game, and we went there. I think I read it. And this is not really anything to read. We did this, and I already calculated we did all of those for this. It's nothing to read, but you could see through those how that was. These are all distances. And you can see, like for the flag, and you can count all of that. It's the Denny numbers. And Denny numbers. So, let me read this book just in case I haven't read that to you all. JLAC. JLAC's, we still haven't figured out exactly how this place is supposed to work, but we're not sure. We're never going to. We do know that the Denny came here for some kind of sport, and it was fairly popular. We know that audiences came and watched whatever game they played. It's the rules we don't know. We have found no rules written down by the Denny, which means that it was such common knowledge that no one felt the need to write. I did read all this. You can see how the different games you can play on it. And let's go here to show you some things that I didn't show in the video. And you can drop these a different object. So you hit these and drop it. And I guess you just hit those and it'll drop. And this is oh, okay, this is what's this do? Ha! Raise all of these up. And what is the force field done? Okay, that raises her. Let's see. Yeah, and that shuts down the force field. And I don't think you can go anywhere else. Nope. That's kind of a shame, isn't it? Well, I wasn't ignoring him. neighbors. Huh? Oh, they're on. Pretty cool. I want to go all, I hope I didn't ignore him. I didn't even see. I didn't have it open when I was doing that, so. And let's open that up and see, where's he? Nah, maybe, let's see what, okay, yeah, I think I got that. Wish I could figure out how to reply to these, because I don't know how to add them. If you're watching this, comment or something, your number, so I can add you and reply back, because I don't know how to do that. And I'm not ignoring you. I'd like to see where they're at if I can. I don't know. That's my neighbor. Okay. In the hood. Okay, I mean, I'll go there. Maybe. Pretty neat. Wish we get some game of Heek on here. And I think I've read everything in here that I can. Did read those others before. There is books there. I don't know if there was books there, Complete Chronicles or not. I can't remember if I went down here or not. I'm gonna have to pull up Complete Chronicles and find out if it's different. I might record on those too. I wish you could go down there. Blue Sea 007. I like that. And let me. I'm gonna think. I think it's over here is where I want to go. I want to show you all the other books. And like I said, this is working. I don't know what that does. I click that. Well, I thought I could go around over here to... Am I missing something? Look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? Woo-hoo. It scared me. Don't want to jump off. Don't feel like going for a swim tonight. A little cold out. Well, we're underground, so it's always the same temperature. I guess we'll go up here. Maybe that's where I want to go. Yeah, I think it is. The only way to get to the library is through this other. Ain't that something? No, I'm right. No, it goes right here. You don't have to go through the other way to get to the library. But you can go through the other way. might not be where I want to go. Yeah, this is right. There's a lot of the reading here I'm going to do. I don't know if it's the same books, Fleet Chronicles or not, but I really think so. I'm going to read all of these. I want to use this game to read it because it's widescreen. That's a little bigger reading. Yeah, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to go to my Relto. I'm going to do something before we end this stream. And it that's not it. I think it was, I wish I could. I don't know how to add them. That's not them. That's, wish I could. Member of Bevan. They just sent some. I think there's another message about feathers. Here it is. I'm going to try this. Type get feather and look in pocket. Let's go to Eater Gira age. And I don't understand what the 7 means. Maybe 7 feathers? Eater Gira. Eater Gira is one of the Eater Gira and Eater Chemo, and I think Eater Gira is this one. No feathers here. How do I do that? Let's look at it. You should stick to feathers. Look at that. I thought this is Eater Gira. Maybe this is Eater Chemo. I'll go to the end here and go to the other one. Raining. No. Maybe this is Eater Chemo and the other one's Eater Gira. And the lightning bugs, I wonder where they go when it's raining. They do not. I thought I saw some, maybe just an artifact. That could be the lightning bug. No, you can see them. See that when it comes out. I don't know if that'd be the lightning bug. So, when it looks like lightning bugs, this spits out. But see, you go. This is where we come in. It's down there. See, you could jump down there and be a lot quicker. When that thing spews that out, it looks like lightning bugs, but it can't be because they does that, and you can see them when it's raining. And lightning bugs don't like the rain. How do I get off of this? Click that. I'm sorry, I didn't. Okay, you picked up a plain feather, put it in your pocket. I know you didn't see yourself do that. Trust me, you have a feather in your pocket. So we've got 3, so we got 3, so we know how to do that now. So we'll do that in the next video. I just wanted to make sure that I did it, and I want to get on here when I want to get on and let other people know, so maybe they can come with me to do the feathers. No, I didn't look over here before, did I? Or did I? No, I did not. Look at this. I did not look over here. Yeah, I did. That's where we come in. Silly. Silly me. What I was thinking. Brain. So we'll do that. Finish that up. I just wanted to see. Test it. Looky here. The link down. They went off. He probably blocked me. Oh, looky here. Oh, yeah, that's pretty neat. Let's keep that and here, save that as. Let's save that. I don't know what I just did. Should know, mate. Okay. I think. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Oh well. I don't know. Thank you for tuning in. I guess they didn't like me and blocked me or something. I don't know. So until next time, Chan the Tech Man. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. Hit the notification bell so you'll get notified when I go live. And share it on your social media and watch my other videos and play this game and other games. I don't want to knock it down there. No. No. I do not want to do that. I wanted to put it up there actually, but oh well. It'll be alright right there. Nice and safe. Remember, go to my website at chansmith.me at CHANSMITH.ME. Fountain Girl, she has her own neighborhood too. And here's a heek down here. I want to do that sometime on here, this recording. I did play that. It's really fun. I really liked it. And I want to show you all how to play that. And there's some other stuff I want to do. Still finish the feathers and do some more reading. So thank you for tuning in. Chan the Tech Man.